Hello ladies, my name is Alicia Jenkins and I'm currently a second-year active serving as the financial assistant for the communications team. I have certifications in compensation, benefits, and work-life balance. I've successfully negotiated my own salary by thousands of dollars. I've increased my pay time off and I've secured flexible scheduling by negotiating. I've also helped friends increase their offers, negotiate better job titles, and secure work from home status on a permanent basis. Because of this success and the common threads that I've encountered when people have asked for my help, I decided to start Close the Gap Consulting to help women and underrepresented individuals develop the skills and confidence they need to successfully negotiate for themselves. This week, I will be talking to you about why it is important to negotiate your salary, how to do it in a practical sense, and how to get into the mental headspace where you feel confident enough to do so. Last week marked Equal Pay Day for women here in the US, but we know that this isn't truly equal pay day. Our Black, Indigenous, and Latina sisters won't see equal pay day until much later this year, and it's crucial that we don't ignore intersectionality when we talk about pay equity. While this is both outrageous and a systemic issue, some research does indicate that women don't negotiate as often or as aggressively as men. It isn't our responsibility as women to fix this issue. And honestly, personally, I believe that pay probably shouldn't be negotiable, and it should definitely be posted in any job listing because both of these things will reduce inequity. However, we don't live in my fantasy world, unfortunately. So for the time being, we will have to operate within the bounds of actual reality. And that means that we need to start negotiating. If talk of equal pay doesn't get you fired up enough to make you want to negotiate, let's talk about lost earnings over time. According to the book Women Don't Ask by Linda Babcock and Laura Leshevre, because of the compounding nature of salary growth, women who fail to negotiate their first salary lose out on roughly $500,000 in earnings by the time they turn 60. Put another way, a woman working from age 23 to age 60 can earn an average of $13,514 more per year. I know I could certainly use an extra 13 grand in my budget. How about you guys? Women who consistently negotiate their salaries over the course of their career earn on average over $1 million more than women who do not negotiate. According to that same book, women tend to report that their expected earnings for their first job will be 13% lower than what men report their expected earnings will be for their first jobs. For peak earning years, men report expecting to earn 32% more than women do. Again, this is for the same job. We're seeing that women don't know what they're worth, that they're grateful for what they're offered, and they're afraid to rock the boat by asking for more. It is reasonable to fear blowback for negotiating. Research has shown that women are perceived as less nice and more demanding for initiating negotiations, and there can be increased risk of an offer being pulled for women who negotiate compared to men who negotiate. So I don't want to gaslight anyone here by saying that negotiating is easy and the results are always positive. There is some inherent risk to be had. Women simply can't negotiate in the same way that men do and expect everything to be sunshine and rainbows. However, there are ways to mitigate these pitfalls. Showing hard numbers for why you're requesting a higher salary, such as a job offer or data from a salary website, helps to legitimize your request. Furthermore, if you highlight your negotiation skills as a benefit for the company, it improves both the social and salary outcomes of your request. So say something like, "I'm so excited to work with you, and I think that this position will be a great fit. But I'm hoping that there might be some wiggle room in the compensation package that you offered me. Based on my research or my other job offer, this job title typically comes with a salary of X, which is slightly higher than what you've offered here. I was also hoping for A, B, and C perks or benefits, which are fairly standard. I believe that hiring a candidate with strong negotiation skills is key for any employer. After all, I will be negotiating with clients and vendors on your behalf very soon, and you'll be glad to have me on board then. I know that all of these things may not be possible, so I've listed them in order of priority for me. I appreciate you taking them under consideration." When you're creating your counteroffer, it's important to consider the trade-offs of each request. For example, if you're up for a position where there is little to no wiggle room on salary, try asking to work from home for at least a few days per week, or permanently if you would prefer. While something like that doesn't directly impact your paycheck, I'm sure all of you can attest to how gas, insurance, and costs for wear and tear on your car have decreased over the last year, which will result ultimately in more slack in your budget. It's also important to consider how different benefits can affect your tax implications. For example, being ineligible to contribute to a 401k for your first year can result in a big tax bill, as much as $4,300 in extra taxes if you were in the 22% bracket and maxing out your contributions. This is on top of the year of lost growth and compounding interest, which would hurt your long-term retirement savings. So asking for a higher salary or a signing bonus to compensate for those losses is reasonable. The worst case scenario is that they do pull the offer, which is obviously a much bigger risk to take if you're desperate to leave your current position or if you're unemployed in a bad job market and your emergency fund is running low. In these cases, consider what you ask for and how you phrase it very carefully, and make sure that you use hard data to back up your requests. According to the Society of Human Resource Management, on average, it costs over $4,000 and takes 42 days to find an employee to fill an open position. So if a company has gotten to the point of offering you a job, they are likely just as invested and hesitant to walk away from the table as you are. If your requests are well supported and reasonable, and they rescind the offer anyway, it can be a blessing in disguise. There is a good chance that they're in a financially tenuous position and they may not really have the revenue to pay you what you are worth. Or potentially they're just an overly rigid company and you would be miserable working there. If you're truly desperate, taking the first offer may be your safest option, but you can always continue to job hunt. I would caution you to really examine if that's your best option, however. Try to lean into doing hard things because it will pay huge dividends over the course of your career if you choose to be brave. As we mentioned before, $500,000 to $1 million. Please answer the poll below about your experiences negotiating your salary. If you're comfortable, please also tell us what you've successfully been able to negotiate. You don't have to use hard numbers. What you had wished you had asked for the last time you tried, or if you haven't been successful, what didn't work and why you think you were unsuccessful. I look forward to interacting with you all week, and I hope that you find the content helpful. I'm also available for one-on-one consultations if anyone is currently interviewing and would like to set up a meeting. Thank you.